Welcome to the Heavy Metal Radio Podcast for virgins whose only romantic experience is steal catalogs under mum. Into the Pit, hosted by yours truly, Riley Pronk. Initially, I planned a much shorter opener for this episode, given our very limited time slot. But this time, I decided to throw the script out the window and just wing it. Diving straight into one of the greatest songs by one of the greatest progressive metal bands of all time. This is Portraying the Buried in Me. The track keeps the endless obsession of the 2005 album Alaska. My name's Riley Pronk, you're listening to The Pit.
penetrate. Your womb is a sewer, and worship the great. Your womb is a sewer, your womb is manure, but still I'm worse. My life is a sinkhole, a greatest and moon. One sustained penalty, mostly alone. I won't weather you, one more they got to. Fuck you. Never to matter the number of flies. Feast in the fat that enfolded your knife. Your womb, your breeding hive. Womb, without you, I see you. I was born deep in the void, raped by millions. I soon grew annoyed. Could I somehow elope like a molecule in a microscope, so your womb will become the tomb of my dead baby? Never to matter the number of flies, laugh in the flap that bolted your thighs. One will of you, one will become two. Fuck you. Your womb is a membrane, I must penetrate. Your womb is a sewer, and go to the grid. Your womb is a sewer, your womb is manure, but still I'm worse.
Only in metal can you transition from a 17/8 breakdown to the miracle of childbirth. The same amount of screaming, stop the music, just different fluids. That was the almighty GWAR. The track Room with a View off the 2004 album War Party. On September 18, 1990, during a performance at the 4808 Club in Charlotte, North Carolina, GWAR's frontman, Dave Barkey, as Aldous Youngus, downed a 2.5 long rubber prosthetic penis known as the cuttlefish of Cthulhu. This grotesque and satirical plot was part of the band's theatrical performance, intended to mark societal taboos and challenge conventions. The local police, however, did not share the same sense of humor. After the show, officers arrested Balky and confiscated the cuttlefish, citing obscenity charges. One officer was reportedly amused by the band's antics, while another was horrified by the prop, leading to a classic good cop, bad cop scenario. The arrest led to a one-year ban on GWAR performing in North Carolina. The absurdity of the situation was highlighted by the fact that the presiding judge over the case was named Dick Boner.
You said boner.
You said Boner too. Shut up.
Boner, you said boner.
You also said Boner. Shut up.
Wait. The judge was named
Dick Boner.
That is super unfortunate.
Yeah. Congrats on the parents.
Congratulations, you named your song after two dicks.
Yep.
Amazing.
In response, GWAR channels the frustration into the 1992 album America Must Be Destroyed, which satirized the controversy and the broader culture of censorship. One rumor about the band's name origin is that a drunk fan at a club shouted, "You should call your band," and then vomited before finishing, making it sound close to GWAR. Well unsubstantiated, it's a fittingly absurd origin story for the band. And before the internet, GWAR produced a zine called Mind Control Monthly, which they photocopied and distributed by hand. This scene featured classic comic strips like Intergalactic Wrestling, and served as a precursor to the multimedia storytelling. Before that, between Barbarian Me with Selkie's The Endless Obsession of the 2005 album Alaska. I think it's time to dive into our album of the week breakdown. And this week, we're diving into none other than Bethlehem's Dictius de Nakera, I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be very wrong. Bethlehem is a German band formed in 1991 in Wetzlar, Germany. They are often considered one of the pioneers of dark metal, blending black metal, doom, and gothic/avant-garde influences. Their sound combines crushing doom riffs, cold black metal atmospheres, and psychological horror in the lyrics. Unlike traditional black metal, Bethlehem's work leans heavily into despair, morbidity, and human psychological darkness. The album came out during a time when German and other European extreme metal bands were experimenting with slower, heavier, and more depressive sounds, blending doom metal's weight with black metal's atmosphere, and was starting to push boundaries beyond conventional metal structures, adding keyboards, industrial sounds, dissonance, and experimental song structures. Dictius de Nakera, I think that's Latin. Sorry, I don't speak that fucking language, was a particular standout because unlike usual black metal lyrics about Forrest and Satan, the album dives into the human psyche, exploring despair, madness, depravity, psychological decay, and even suicide, hence why it was so influential to the genre of DSPM, depressive suicidal black metal. It also contained odd song transitions, ambient noise, and unconventional vocal treatments which predate some later avant-garde/depressive black metal trends, with a pleading, desperate, blood-curdling, shrieking vocal style would soon be a key component for the DSPM genre. Now let's dive into some folk metal. This is Antiferum, the track One More Magic Potion of the 2007 album Victory Song. My name's Riley Pronk, you're listening to The Pit. Definitely the sort of thing Disney would play to calm the children before the mass extinction scene. That was Caucus, the track Exhumed to Consume of the 1989 sophomore album Symphonies of Sickness. Before Caucus, there was This Attack, a crust punk slash D-beat band formed in 1986. The demo, A Bomb Drops, is a rare glimpse into the early sound, which was far removed from the surgical grindcore they would later pioneer. And when they changed directions in the name and released the demo Flesh Ripping Sonic Torment in 1986, they would fully embrace the gore grind sound. Fun fact, the band actually never labeled themselves that. Bassist and vocalist Jeff Walker owned a copy of Thornland's Illustrated Medical Dictionary, which the band mined for the famously verbose lyrics and songs like lavishing expectorate of lysergide composition. I am not a doctor, but I'm pretty sure I pronounced that right. Mind the coughing in the background. They literally flipped through random pages, picked gross-sounding medical terms, and built lyrics around them, often without knowing what they meant. The dual vocal style, Jeff Walker's higher nasal rasp and Bill Sears' deeper gutturals, wasn't planned from the start. It evolved almost by accident during the Week of Putrefaction and Symphonies of Sickness sessions, partly because of technical issues and partly because the band thought it sounded hilariously disgusting. That and the band didn't really assign vocal duties in the 1986 to 87 era. Whoever wasn't playing a complicated part would just shout into a mic. Bill did most of the early screams. Jeff joined in 87 and brought the sound snarlier tone, and Ken Allen also did the occasional bark. So when they recorded the Week of Putrefaction, they simply layered all three of them screaming. Before that, folk metal legends answer Theorem with One More Magic Potion of the 2007 album, Victory Songs. This is Enter a Pit with Riley Pronk, and I think it's time to throw it back to 1987 and play some first-wave black metal. This is Bathory, R.I.P. Cawthorn, his track Women of Dark Desires of his album Under the Sign of a Black Mark. Some batshit insane mathcore from Converge. Dark Horse offered 2009 album Axefaller. Grandma might enjoy this if she enjoys her blood pressure spiking for fun. Before Jane Doe became the iconic 2001 release we know, Jacob Bannon had envisioned it as a much larger, more experimental project. The original idea was for a double album. One disc would contain the aggressive, chaotic Converge tracks fans recognize, while the second would be entirely instrumental, atmospheric, and experimental, leaning heavily on influences from noise rock and avant-garde acts like Swans and Godflesh. Bannon imagined this as a way to explore the emotional core of the songs in a completely different context, letting the music breathe without vocals and allowing the listener to sink into the bleak textures and tension. However, the label was hesitant about releasing a double album of this nature. Bannon and Barlow were pressured to condense the project, which meant that most of the instrumental experiments were shelved or heavily reworked. Could have been more influential if it had gone that route, but you can't really rewrite history. Before Converge had any label backing or even proper distribution, Jacob Bannon was already running an underground art operation from his bedroom. He didn't just design t-shirts, he made them from scratch. Early on, he scoured thrift stores and second-hand shops for plain clothing, often picking up worn or mismatched shirts and hoodies. These garments weren't pristine, they were recycled, some with holes, stains, or faded fabric. Bannon embraced this imperfection. For him, the flaws weren't a problem, they were part of the aesthetic. Each shirt became a one-of-a-kind art piece, a tactile extension of Converge's chaotic, raw hardcore ethos. Bannon hand screen printed these shirts using rudimentary setups, a small cramped table in his bedroom, homemade screens, and whatever ink he could get his hands on. Sometimes he would misalign layers, overprint in spots, or leave smudges. Mistakes like misspelled lyrics, inverted logos, or abstract blotches weren't corrected. They were left intentionally. He saw them as part of the controlled chaos of a band, a physical embodiment of a music's aggression and imperfection. Before that, Baffley with Women of Dark Desires of his 1987 album Under the Sign of a Black Mark. We kicked things off with a 7-minute epic, so why the hell not class it out with an 11-minute monster? This is Elpeth, the grand conjuration of the 2005 album Ghost Revelation. Thanks, Geenan. Always appreciate you coming there just to chill and listen. And I will return to my Throne of Darkness next week. Catch you later. But seriously, how funny is that Dick Boner? Oh shit, the episode's over. No need to play more music. Anyway, peace. I need to do a fat shit. Peace.